Good morning from every part of the world you're watching me. This is Victoria. My name is Victoria. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber living in Saudi Arabia, and this is one of my mornings. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about things to expect when moving to Saudi Arabia. I'm going to be talking about things to know before making the big move, before moving to Saudi Arabia. Like these are very, very important so that this thing doesn't take you by surprise when you get to Saudi Arabia. So if you like and love this kind of video, kindly remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, as this video is going to be helpful to so many people. Comment under this video so that it can reach more people, more audience that really needs the video. On this place, I'm going to be talking, the first thing I'm going to be telling you about what to expect in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is actually a very cool, serene environment. There's not so much activities like if you're coming from a like high life or a big social environment. This place is not so much of that. It's just a cool place generally. Like they live their quiet life, not so much of things going on. You just live your normal life, like day to day activity, like your indoor activities. There's not so much of outings, partying, and stuff. So I'm going to be going into details one after the other. So I'm just briefing you about what to expect. Number one on my list is know that Saudi Arabia is an Arabic speaking country. Like their first language is Arabic language. Like even in their schools, everywhere is Arabic language. So their first language is not English. They speak Arabic generally. So if you are moving to Saudi Arabia, take note of that this country is an Arabic speaking country. Number two on my list is if you are going to be moving to this country, probably as an expat, or maybe you want to come and work in Saudi Arabia, and it is Saudi Arabian government that will be bringing you in, there's every possibility that you might not be posted to the town or maybe like the bustling part of Saudi Arabia. Let me say, okay, probably you might not be posted to the capital of the country. You might be posted to the village areas or like the small towns. So, in case probably you've been doing your online research and you've been seeing like, okay, Riyadh, Jeddah, I think I will enjoy this place. Although you will enjoy this place, but it might not, what you've been seeing might not be what you will meet because it depends. When you're coming in as an expatriate, when you're coming in to work here, there's every possibility that, or maybe let me say every person, because there are some particular citizens, like there are some countries that they post to city, probably like American citizens, United Kingdom citizens. I don't know the reason why they do that, but they post them to those kind of areas. But if you are coming in, like, just prepare your mind. That's what I would say. Just prepare your mind. You can be posted anywhere, so just be open-minded when it comes to where you're going to be living in Saudi Arabia. Another point on things to know before moving is if you are a parent or if you have it in plan on having your children here in Saudi Arabia, note that there are no international school in some villages or in some small towns. There are no international school in some regions. So if you are coming in, you might be lucky to be posted to a town where you will find international schools, and you might not be lucky. You get, so have that at the back of your mind that not every region has international schools, but Arabic schools are everywhere. So if you're probably coming from an Arabic country and you want to come and settle, definitely you can put your children in Arabic schools. They have good schools as well. Their public schools are good schools. But international schools are not always in every region. So probably there are specific places that you will find international school. So it now depends. Probably you now decide that okay, when you have your children, you take it upon yourself to take them out, or probably you pay for like a driver to be taking them to school in another town. So have that in mind as well. Another thing you need to know about Saudi Arabia is that if you're going to be coming here as a dependent, probably the wife is working and the husband is going to be a dependent, or the husband is working and the wife is going to be a dependent, there's every probability that you won't be able to work because it's one of their let me say their rules or what one of their ways of doing things. Like, you are not allowed to work if you are bringing your spouse and your spouse is working. There's every tendency that you will not be allowed, and eventually even if you get a job, you have to go back to your home country. Then you will do your registration like you are coming in with a work visa. You have to go to your home country and go and do your work visa so as to be able to work in Saudi Arabia. So that's another thing about working in Saudi Arabia. There's every tendency that if you are coming in as a dependent of your spouse, maybe it's your husband that is working, maybe it's your wife that is working, there's every tendency that you will not be able to work. So that's another thing you should know about Saudi Arabia. But if you are not allowed to work, that doesn't mean that you can't work. You can definitely do other things like probably online. You can do online teaching, you can do online jobs, like anything apart from the fact that you're going to be working in their system. You can do any other job if it doesn't have to do with working in their system. So you can do any other job. You can do like online, you can do YouTube, just like me. I have a YouTube channel. You can do YouTube channel. You can have a YouTube channel and start posting. You can do like there's so many online jobs that you can do. So you can do that as well. But for working in their country, you have to go through that procedure. By even if you get a job, there's possibility that you will get a job if you put out your CV and do the necessary things there. You get a job, but before you start working, you have to go back to your own country, then work on your work visa. Then you now come into their country to work. Do you get? So that's how it is in Saudi Arabia. Another thing on my list you need to know about Saudi Arabia is that you are not permitted to practice your religion publicly. Any religion aside Islam, you are not permitted to practice it publicly. So you have to practice your religion indoors. You're not allowed to do, if you're a Christian, you're not allowed to do evangelism. If you're a Christian, you're not allowed to create a group of people and start worshiping probably in public places or maybe in an eatery when they go and create a group and you start praying or you start worshiping there. It is not allowed. You can worship in your house. You can call friends over in your house and make it your place of worship. So that you can do in your private place, but doing it publicly is not allowed. Another thing you need to know about Saudi Arabia is dress style. You are not allowed to dress like open your private body, like your private part, like your private areas. You're not allowed to do that. Even though the rules have been relaxed, like the rule has been a little bit like they've relaxed a little of things when it comes to their rules. For example, you might go out without covering your hair, you might go out without your habaya. So far, you are decently dressed. That is all they are asking. Like, ensure that you are well covered. Even though you are not wearing the abaya, ensure that you are well covered. Sometimes, me, for example, I go out with abaya, and the reason is because if you find yourself in some area, for example, in Saudi Arabia, we have like regions under cities, like we have Jizan, Riyadh, Jeddah. Under Jeddah, we have towns. So those towns sometimes they are like in this place they see them as village, but when you see it, it's not like village. They have the necessary things they should have, like a proper town should have, but it's because they are not so open. Like they still have that, like you see the raw cultural Saudi in that kind of settings. So they still have a lot of people wearing abayas. So when you go out in the midst of everyone, you can be the only one not putting on abaya. and it will call for looks. They stare at you, they look at you, and if you don't mind, you can go on with your life and not mind and just move on. But if you mind, if the look is kind of embarrassing, if you don't like the way they look at you, you can try and be wearing abaya. That's the only reason why you wear abaya. It's not as if it is compulsory, because Saudi doesn't is not making it like a compulsory thing for you to do. It's just out of respect for the culture. That's why me particularly I put on abaya. Sometimes when I go to cities, like we go to cities to do some shopping, or we want to go for like adventure, I might decide to just go in my normal outfit, but I ensure that I am well covered. Well covered in what sense? You can't wear like things exposing your bum, or maybe your boobs are you're wearing like a open boobs kind of clothes. You can't do that. You have to be well covered. Like something I'm wearing and long sleeve. I can't wear this short sleeve. Like you can wear it, but they will stare at you. That's just it. So you have to wear like just go. You know, when you're in Rome, you behave like a Roman. So that just go with the flow, and you will be fine. So that's some things that you should expect in Saudi. Another thing that you need to know before moving to Saudi is that if you are the kind of person that maybe from your home country you've been used to having like house helps, assistance from everywhere, in this place getting an help is expensive, and you might not really have access to it like that. So if you are going to be coming to Saudi Arabia, you should be prepared to do things on your own. Like you have to own it. You have to start doing things on your own without help, without support. It just has to be you and you alone. Do you get? So it's kind of disturbing, especially when you've been used to having assistants all around you, house help, drivers, security, all these things. Even though security is not needed, but like you have a lot of helps around you. This place, there's no help. You have to get things done yourself. You have to run your errands yourself. Even when you can, I don't think you can even send people on errands here. I don't really know, but you have to get most things done yourself. Another thing you need to know before moving to Saudi Arabia is that Saudi Arabia can be lonely. As I said in the beginning of this video, Saudi Arabia can be lonely. Like you have to be prepared mentally, physically for the journey. Like it is lonely in Saudi Arabia. Apart from maybe when you're out of work, you can go out, but even you're going out is still lonely to me. Oh, to me it's still lonely, because when you go out it's not as if there's so much activity going on. It's just like it's refreshing. You just go out and feel the breeze and just enjoy the serene environment. That's all. Not as if there's so much going on there, except maybe you find yourself in bigger towns like Jeddah, Riyadh. Those places they have more activities because there is more expatriates there. So they tend to put more of these beautiful innovations, maybe like a game centers. They are more there. But if you find yourself in these small towns, you will not have access to that, and it's going to be lonely. Trust me. So just prepare your mind that it can be lonely. The only thing you can do is that when coming, just prepare yourself. You know how you want to occupy yourself, things you love doing, things that you use in engaging yourself, things that you use to make yourself lively. Do you get? Maybe it's music you love listening to. You just prepare yourself, get maybe a music box and just be playing music. Anything that you love. If it is like maybe you're the kind of person that loves game, you can buy yourself like a game and start playing. Maybe you love watching movies, just get ready to binge watch a lot of movies on Netflix. Do you get? So that is just one of those things about things you need to know about living in Saudi Arabia. Another thing you need to know about Saudi Arabia is female restrictions. Like there are some things that are I won't say, I feel like because of who they have, the kind of lifestyle, like female restrictions, there are some things that you are not expected to do as a female. Like for example, I have not seen like their female eating publicly. I don't think it is accepted. If you are now the kind of person that probably you buy food and you want to easily be eating on the road, even though it's not nice, like to be eating on the road, that kind of thing. But if you're the kind of person that you don't care from your own country, you can easily buy food and just eat on the road. For a female, it is not really allowed. Do you get? It's not really allowed, and you can't do some, like, maybe you talk to the way you relate outside with male. Do you get? So if you find yourself in Saudi Arabia, probably as a dependent like me, there are some things you can do. One of it is what I'm doing here: opening a YouTube channel, putting out content, engaging yourself, and sometimes engage yourself by doing courses online or getting a job online. Like, there are some typing jobs, data jobs, a lot of jobs. If that is what you know how to do, you can get jobs online and start working from home. You can do so many things, you can use that opportunity to equip yourself for your for the better tomorrow. Do you get? Before moving out of Saudi Arabia, like maybe get yourself some online courses and do some, just to engage yourself. Another thing you can do while living in Saudi that won't make you that bored is exploring the country. In as much as Saudi Arabia is lonely, you just have to blend into the system, blend into the culture, be open to learning. Like, be open to learning, don't hold on to your feelings, just open up and just learn, explore the country, travel. There's so many places to travel to. Just explore, educate yourself about the countries. For the main time you're going to be living in Saudi, you probably in years to come, if you eventually leave Saudi Arabia, you might not be coming to Saudi Arabia. So for the time being in Saudi Arabia, try and explore the country. That's one of the things that I've also told myself this year that I'm going to be doing more. I'm going to be exploring the country. I'm going to be exploring the culture, enjoying the country. Don't let the your present situation blind you from those things that you actually enjoy. Just like the way I was all into my emotions of, I'm lonely, it's boring. So I was always indoor, forgetting the fact that I could easily explore the country and just learn new things and enjoy myself. And that's one of those things I've decided to do on my channel by posting how I live my life in Saudi Arabia. And if this kind of content is what you love to watch and you enjoy to watch this kind of content, kindly subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to like this video, comment under the video if you are planning to come into Saudi or you're already in Saudi Arabia. We can easily connect each other in the comment section and let's talk about our experiences in Saudi. Thanks for watching. See you in my next. Bye.